Enlisted is a game based in the setting of World War II, but how closely does it stick to the source material? Prior to the merge and the tech trees we know today, Enlisted had a campaign system where each of them had unlockable weapons and equipment that saw service in their respective theaters of the world conflict. The issue with this system was that asymmetrical balance became inevitable, and unlocking gear in one campaign wouldn't carry over to the others. Gold Order weapons have also been available since 2021, and have almost always been limited service or prototype weapons. Since the merge happened 2 years ago, prototype weapons have been added to the tech trees of each nation. The AS-44 Model 5, T-20, Beretta M1, and Type A automatic being some of the more notable examples of them. So does this mean Enlisted is historically accurate? I would say no. The term that I think is more accurate is historically referenced. Ignoring the Gold Order weapons and eventually premium squads in the campaign system that used to exist, I would say that that was historically accurate, but not anymore. Now personally, I believe this is one of Enlisted's strengths. Unlike a game such as Call of Duty Vanguard, Enlisted adds prototype weapons, but for the most part doesn't tamper with the weapon's identity, thus creating a sandbox of historical weapons both from service and prototypes, creating interesting what-if scenarios of some of the coolest weapons you've probably learned about from Forgotten Weapons. However, the World War II genre appeals heavily to those who would prefer for the game to be, as I mentioned before, historically accurate, based on my prior loose definition. Just look at Hell Let Loose, Squad 44, and other games currently on the market as well. Why shouldn't Gaijin attract those players with a similar dedication to historical accuracy, but with the unique mechanic of full squad control? Now, should Gaijin take steps backwards in Enlisted's development to remove all prototype weapons? Absolutely not. However, I believe making a historically accurate version of the squad's game mode, while splitting the player base to an extent, would also attract enough players to compensate and not be a net negative change. You would have to shuffle some weapons around for it to work. For example, the remaining BR5 full autos would either require to be omitted to machine guns, or you would have to supplement the gaps with weapons such as the American Johnson M1941 machine gun and the Japanese Type 96, Type 99, or possibly KE7. Japan's current tree would also have some very large gaps emerge in general, requiring some new foreign weapons such as Thai or Northern Chinese ZH-29s, as well as Dutch East Indies Thompsons to fill them. Another issue would be Japanese tanks, as the Honi 3 and possibly the Chiha short gun would be the highest tier tanks to see service at tier 3, likely resulting in Japan needing strong anti-tank guns, anti-tank grenades, or other means to compensate against Shermans, Pershings, T-34s, and IS tanks. To finalize my thoughts, I believe Gaijin should hire more developers to work on Enlisted, with one of the priorities being a side product attached to the current game and progression, but appealing to historical accuracy. As for what the game currently offers, I believe prototypes deserve a place in the game, especially if they fill a gap that no service weapon can fill, or offer something interesting as a premium. What do you guys think? Should Enlisted cater to both parties? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and have an amazing day.